Have you ever found yourself wanting to speak up or stand up for yourself, but not knowing how? Feeling taken advantage of, disrespected, underappreciated, or maybe just invisible? Many people find themselves stuck in a state of passivity. They may know what they want and need, but minimize it, or can't find the motivation or willpower to go after it. Or maybe more often notice that you're in a state of aggression, where you maximize instead of minimize, and find it difficult to see other points of view in the process. In each case, you've probably noticed that it hasn't helped you out in the long run a ton. But you're not alone, and you're also not stuck feeling or communicating in this way forever. Hi, my name is Anna Males. I'm a licensed therapist, and today we're going to learn about assertiveness, what it stems from, why it's important, and simple ways we can use it to stand up for ourselves calmly and confidently and ask for what we need directly and respectfully. So why is assertiveness important? Research has actually linked poor communication to low self-esteem, and those two things are the root of a lot of dissatisfaction in our relationships, school, career, and life. Think about it. People with strong self-esteem handle situations with confidence and assurance. People with low or shaky self-esteem will either say nothing and feel bad or become aggressive and also end up feeling bad. But they're not getting their core needs met. When our self-esteem is low, we are constantly trying to win validation, either through passively trying to please people and gain acceptance, or aggressively trying to convince others of our superiority to gain acceptance. The passive person puts other needs before ours, and aggressive people cannot afford to consider other people's needs because they worry it means theirs don't matter as much. Assertive behavior involves a genuine respect for themselves and others. Their self-esteem is anchored deeply within and is not dependent on the approval of other people. They see themselves as equal to others, so their needs and rights are just as important, no more and no less than others. So with this, assertiveness becomes a skill that we can use to channel healthy confidence to communicate our needs, feelings, and boundaries in an honest and respectful way. As we learn how to be more assertive, the first step is figuring out what we actually want to say. And the key here is being curious and self-aware of what's actually going on within us. You can do this by paying attention mindfully to your emotions and values so that you can name them and interpret what they're trying to tell you. Feelings of anger and frustration let us know that our boundaries have been crossed, that we're not being treated fairly or respectfully, and it motivates us to act, to express ourselves, and put something right. But many of us were told not to feel our anger. And so you may have to dig deep to recognize when your body is trying to let you know that you're feeling angry. Underneath our anger, there may also be disappointment, shame, fear, embarrassment, jealousy, and hurt. Noticing and naming all of these feelings legitimizes our emotional experience and helps us figure out what we really need in that moment. If we don't do this, we're denying that our needs and wants are important enough to fulfill, and we end up with lower self-esteem, more anxiety, stress, conflict, and even depression. So remember your rights and identify your boundaries. You have needs, wants, and boundaries in every relationship that you're in, with friends, family, romantic partners, bosses, teachers, and peers, and you have the right to express and ask for them to be met. You have the right to have and express your own opinions, views, ideas, and feelings, even if you think they're different from someone else's, or you think that person may not like what you have to say. You have the right to say no without feeling guilty or selfish. You have the right to be treated with respect as an intelligent, capable, and equal human being. The aim of assertiveness is to demonstrate that change is possible, that we're not helpless when we run into conflict or feel neglected, that we can and deserve to have our needs and wants met by being assertive, confident, and direct. Once we figure out what we want to use assertiveness to communicate, the second part is identifying how and when to say it. The key here is communicating your thoughts, feelings, and needs calmly and respectfully, while actively making space for the other person's thoughts, feelings, and needs as well. If you're not in a headspace to do that, it's not the right time to communicate. Respectfully ask the person if you can continue the conversation at another time, but don't wait too long to have it, because your unmet needs will continue to fester and resentment will grow. Assertive people communicate directly and honestly, because they don't assume other people know what they want or need, or they don't assume that they can read their mind. Describe the situation to make sure you're both on the same page, and use I statements to articulate your experience, feelings, and point of view without blaming or criticizing the other person. Concisely state what you want or need from the other person. Use an even tone of voice, make eye contact, and don't threaten or belittle. It's okay to show emotion, but use your words and not your emotions to express what you want and how you feel. Finally, be understanding and accepting of differences. Actively listen to and consider the other person's perspective, and be open to changing your mind as you incorporate new information. If you disagree, be respectful of their thoughts and feelings. Don't argue or attack if you sense resistance. Instead, offer potential solutions to the problems that come up. If agreement or compromise isn't possible, be prepared to walk away. When all is said and done, the other person may have reasons for not changing, and you need to hear them out. The goal isn't to win the argument or their approval, but just to articulate your thoughts, feelings, and needs so that you can better connect with the other person and you can decide what the next best step is for you. Being assertive isn't easy, and because our communication styles are often determined early in life, it may be challenging to change them on your own. So don't be afraid to increase your resources and your support network by reaching out to a mental health professional who can help you better understand yourself and your relational patterns better. You are not alone, and with the right information, skills, and resources, you are capable of anything.